Muffins. So today I'm going to be hanging out with you and answering a couple questions and maybe just kind of explaining a little bit about my experiences with fallen angels as a demonolatress. And we're going to have some chicken bone broth. All right, we're having a little mukbang, I guess, and some sourdough bread and butter when you're in a deficit. Oh, fucking heavens no. And speaking of heavens no, according to the internet, me giving bone broth to Belial is just doing too much and I'm dangerous to the satanic community. So I'm holding my microphone up and everything's falling apart and my kitchen's a mess because I'm renovating. But you know how Belial likes his bone broth? Gotta look like ballistics gel, first of all, when you cook it down. Fresh cracked pepper, no boomer fucking dust, please. And salt is fine. People say salt is terrible for demons. He is an earth god. He is an earth demon. He has been just fine with a little bit of salt in his food. And I like putting fresh oregano. I just rip it up and say some incantations if it's applicable. A little bit more oregano for my bone broth. Belial calls it boner broth. If you don't make this for a fallen angel, you can make it for yourself too. You know, the oregano is very healing. It's one of my top 3 herbs that I recommend having in your herbalist arsenal, by the way. I wanted to talk a little bit about that sort of mentality that I've been seeing on different spectrums and different spiritual alliances, especially when it comes to people coming to my platform and asking for counsel. And I don't want to judge anybody or try to be like, I get a bit too uppity because some of us have just been had bullets shot at us our whole life and we're like, if I can do it, you can do it, you weak ass bitch. And I don't want to be that. I actually learned to tie back my energy a little bit from that sort of mentality because who am I? And that's something that Belial will teach you is a sense of humility within your strength. He is a king with no crown for a reason. But I get a lot of questions from people, especially on Instagram in my DMs, asking if I can commune with him, if I can help him because they're struggling. And I wanted to unpack some stuff with you guys about the realities of like these systems of illusions that we're under, how he's the entity that will tell you the truth about that because that's what he was doing in the first place. But cheers to you. It's okay to have some carbs too when you're in a deficit, just so you know, but I have to still check myself. And a quick tip for you is to speak your incantations into your broth, into your teas, your beverages before you consume them, either for affirmations for yourself or if you're sharing it with deity. I will speak incantations of love for Belial because I feed him often. And that's made people mad because apparently I'm putting too much pressure on other individuals on a path that's really about turbulence and refining yourself through that chaos and centering yourself through those storms. Because if you guys look around, we are in a war system. Man revised those codices for real estate and for profit via war. And we're still living it. Look around. One thing that I will say is because of all of these systems and the trickle-down effect of your political entities, your religious leaders, people in your community, it's all set up to fail. There are good people out there, but the reality is too many people, because we're weak and down and broken and tired, is we're waiting for somebody to save us. We're waiting for politicians that give us teaspoons of hope to save us. And then when they do something good that's of benefit to us, but might be detriment to somebody else, in 4 to 8 years in the United States, it collapses. We don't question the foundation of that. We're in a linear war. And within our own community in occultism, I get a lot of that because if you guys follow my content on other platforms, I'm kind of unfiltered and that offends people. So I kind of wanted to talk about that. Like, my workings with King Belial, and I have been only working with this entity. And I hate saying the word working because it's deeper than that. It's transformative. I've lost a lot of weight on this path because of discipline between him and Lord Azazel. One thing that I will say is they're not going to come and save you. And sometimes just the well-meaning people who just have been bitch kicked to the curb will be in my DMs begging me to talk to Belial to help him. And I have no choice but to soldier on and to be strong for myself and my kids to leave somewhat of a legacy. And it is extremely difficult when you don't have that village. And I can fucking light my money candles and listen to Hertz all I want to, But if you're not going to be able to do the work, the fundamental work that it takes in order to gain that sort of prosperity or confidence in yourself, whatever genre of abundance that you're looking for, this path is probably not going to be for you. It's okay to have transactional stuff, you know, but a lot of people think that if you give a demon some chocolates and light a candle, then all of a sudden you're going to have thousands of fucking dollars. Like, that's not equivalence in energy, and that's not a sacrifice in most cases. The sacrifice is you letting go of shit that has a control over you and showing what you like in your raw form and rebuilding yourself and forging yourself under those fires that life has bitch kicked you in. And sometimes if you're blessed, like I tell my kids, you have to kindle that own bonfire for yourself now and stand in it and meditate, because life is gonna flank your ass hard and you gotta be prepared. Otherwise you sink, or you fucking synchronized swim. That's it. And people will judge right away and react. And when you're doing this shit, in my opinion, right, you ain't gonna have a fucking alliance. And I had to accept that a long time ago. Because my devils are not candy coated. My gods are not sugar coated. I don't grovel on my knees. And I'm not here to judge anybody. We all have walks of life and stuff, but nobody wants to hear it. The reality is, you guys, is many of us who are in alliance with these entities and feel genuinely deeply aligned with ourselves, this has followed us our entire lives. And when you take that call finally, you get to decide. You use discernment. It's not an impulsive thing you dive into. It's not something you become infatuated with. You need discipline on this path. And you're gonna have to fucking understand it's hard. So I can't give people false hope. I can say that people do need to unpack some of their religious trauma and thinking that the devil's going to take their children. Like, child sacrifice is terrible, but that shit's happening with those demi-war gods that say that they are the true God. And nobody cares in their religious affiliations because they say, well, those kids wouldn't be blown up and raped if they just fucking, their parents repented to our God. I get told that all the time. And it's sick because we're in a rotten fucking cage, aren't we? Belial has been really pushing me lately to stop holding back my energy, because I inflict things in people without trying to. And that's hard to even say because so many people will just get off on that. Like, yeah, well, you didn't want to hear it. It's true to an extent, but you have to have equilibrium with your arrogance and your ego. It's okay to be fuck around and find out. I absolutely motherfucking am. And it's okay to be strong. Those of us who are women, and we are very tough women, we get often just chastised because we didn't have father figures or, you know, strong husbands or anything like that. We chose wrong and it's our fault. And this path helps me become soft. And that's not because I'm seeking that. It's not that I'm trying to glorify this. It's, I have to transmutate all of that fucking hardcore outlaw heavy metal shit that I grew up with, which I love, into something productive, into disciplines in my body, in my spirit, my emotions, in my reaction, in my observations on the world around me. I made pacts with Lord Azazel to see my best potential, and simultaneously with Belial to know the truth about what the fuck's going on. And I was already woken up for my whole life I've been woken up to this shit. But they will take you down those rabbit holes. And if you're expecting blessings to just come out of nowhere, no, you gotta really work for them without being transactional if you're deep into your path. I don't do that. And if you have an undertone and you're trying to fake that, please, for fuck's sakes, because I see people doing this shit, you think they're not gonna map out every single intention. They know your goddamn coding. They are higher beings than we are because they've expanded to that point. And they were programmed to be that. And it's hard. It's difficult to wrap your head around. You know, with my workings with Mammon, I'll say is more transactional, and it's very less these days because Belial's like, I can help you with that. Don't worry about it. And that's up to me, but he's got a strong pull. So for people who say, and I'm sure I have at some extent, that he's an easy demon to commune with, he is an extremely high-ranking king with no crown. And people glorify him because he'll give political power and celebrity and money. Those are fucking tests for you guys. You think that once you get that shit, you're going to be able to maintain it or hold on to it. You have to have discipline. And like getting back to my workings with Mammon, I had to learn a lot of financial discipline and in financial intelligence that I also had to promote my adult kids in learning with macro and microeconomics, because look the fuck around. You going to school and doing the right thing and getting a 9-to-5 job ain't going to cut it. And then if you have a spouse and they do it too, and you don't have kids, you'll get shamed and you'll still have a bunch of student debt. If you have kids, you're going to be hella shamed because you didn't have them at the same time. Like, this is coming from a young mom who was homeless when she graduated high school and had a long-term boyfriend that I was married to for well over, almost a decade and a half. And besides that, did the right thing, and I was still slut shamed, and I was called a little whore, and I should have miscarried, and all of these terrible things that I had to really fucking soldier through. And then having a new checkpoint in my life with having 2 more kids in a new marriage in my 30s, it was the same thing. Oh, you old fucking bag, you had kids too late. So it doesn't matter what you do. And what we're doing now is we're grasping on desperately for validation, for an easy fix, because we're exhausted. Let it fuel you, and you're going to have slow days. You're going to quit. You're going to backslide. You're going to go backwards. You're going to get back up and go again. It's the journey, and people don't want long term because you're tired and desperate. But at some point, we have to be real with ourselves here. We are so divided in humanity, and we are desperate. The way this works when you want prosperity, or you want roads open for you, and you want relationships to crumble, is you got to make that sacrifice and trust them. I transmutate and have a transmutation money bowl, and that can help you guys. But that's in parallel with my workings too. It's about your own fucking fortitude. You are going to cling on to that. And when we cling on and, I hope this person buys this from my shop. I hope this person comes and saves me. And I hope this person does a blessing for me because I DM them. When you do that, you are creating energetic blockages for yourself. So Belial will rip that shit in half and fucking stomp on it in front of you and leave you as a husk of a fucking person, as a spirit, I should say, and say, build. Build when you are tired. And I know people don't like hustle culture, and I don't either, especially when people market it as this alpha bro bullshit. It's like they haven't suffered just because they went to the gym and got their money right. That's not suffering. I like to hear the stories with humility from people who fucking hit rock bottom, whether by their own sword or from life. Some of us were torpedoed right out the womb into that motherfucking fire. And you have to learn to thrive and adapt to those flames. So when I get these people that are either interested in this path or other demonolators who are telling me that I'm too much, I am not here to dilute this shit. And I am not going to do it anymore. And I'm not going to fucking give you false hope. I will say that they're neutral and they're very fair. And in my experience, I've had a ton of love from these deities. That doesn't mean that I just sit back and eat fruit all day and look cute and fan myself and then just all the blessings come in. That means I put in relentless work. I grind in the dark, you guys. I put myself through suffering to adapt to my environment so it's less insufferable. And I hate saying that because as a woman, I'm a very emotional person. My emotions get so strong. I even have video proof of this. I was crying on camera like a few nights ago and I never posted it, and the smoke detectors go off. It's him. That happens a lot. It's so silly because I'm just like, I have just really big feelings, okay? And I fucking just stuff them in. And Belial's like, no, you're not doing that anymore. And I'm like, yes, the fuck I am. And then he's like, no, you're not. With an entity like Belial, the transaction, a lot of the times, if you're just transactional and you need a quick fix, a lot of it, he has told me that they will set up egregores to do that work for them because they can't be bothered. Like, they cannot be bothered with everybody's groveling. They will transmutate that energy, but they don't give a fuck about your offerings. They give a fuck about the intent behind them. If I was just sterile with my energy and I was speaking incantations and gratitude into my bone broth, rehearsing it like a recital, it's not going to have the same impact. And if I try to fake how much I care and try to force it, they're going to know. They're going to know. So my best advice is, if you want to be on this path, please don't beg other practitioners who make videos to help fix you, Because if we do have results, it's because our magic works. I don't have a lot of drama in my life. I have attachments that are leaving. I have shifts that are happening right now because I have exited a checkpoint and I'm like square one. I want people to understand that. Like, you don't have to do this and do that like how I do it, but don't fucking kid yourself. If you can benefit and you can have control over your health slowly, if you can have control over your finances slowly, making those small sacrifices at a reasonable pace will help you. But you also have to ground yourself. You know, a lot of people, they get so spiritual and they go fucking nuts. I believe that a lot of these motherfuckers are seeing what they're seeing. But you have to do the work. It's like an energetic balance. You know, I'm forced to garden and homestead, and I'm with him in the garden all the time. I got a beautiful 1/4 acre plot that's temporary. It's not about me trying to share my life and oh, I'm doing this. I'm trying to give you a raw, like, understanding that we all suffer and we are all tired. And it doesn't matter what your demographic is. It doesn't matter if you're fat, black, and a woman. It doesn't matter if you're a skinny white dude or an Asian fucking trans woman. None of it matters. These illusions are set up for us to be in linear cages. And as a result, we don't have we have energetic blockages because we're too busy giving our energy to these systems that are profiting off of us. If you're looking for easy fixes, you guys, the best thing you can do is confront yourself. If you're on a dark path, people abuse this energy, and that's up to the individual. That doesn't affect me. Edgelords, these dudes that are making videos in their mom's fucking car, oh, I'm gonna take your energy, I'm a vampire. Like, go right ahead, dude. It's just it's nutty. You know, these people are silly and they want a quick fix, and they don't realize that that is stunting their potential so much. You have to have that sort of solidity in your vortex, I think. And if you don't, that's okay if you're honest about it. Like, I'm trying to think of something that's hard. What's hard for me is he helped me kill imposter syndrome. That's the thing that I had to go through. If you want prosperity, fix something in your environment that you could have control over. I am in reality. This is an arena. This is the dream. This is not the dream. This is a dream, a bad fucking dream. And our reality is elsewhere simultaneously. We are here on Earth to refine our skills and to face our emotions. But the problem is that the people in charge, and who have been for thousands of years, they are using these occult structures, weaponizing them, demonizing them, and taking your energy. And they put you in psychological prison. I had to grow my own medicine and buy my own herbs and infuse my own oils and work out 6 to 7 days a week unless I'm very tired or sick. I am a hormonal woman, so I have slow days. I do. I am not saying you should push through burnout, but that has been my only option forever. And I finally I crashed. Because listen, when they tell you to rest, you better listen. Because Azazel and Belial have both told me to rest at times, and I'm like, nah, fuck that, fucking soldier on, fuck that. And then everything's ba-boom, okay, sweetheart, you didn't want to rest, so we're gonna just fucking give you some more shit. And you're like, I'm never doing this again, I'm sorry. And then with Belial, I do it again, and he goes, okay, sweetie pie, let's go again. And he loves it. He loves every single of it. If you can hear him laugh, he'd be like, ha, 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 I can't do it. I can't get my voice that deep. So I wish I could, but he's got a very low but very gentle voice at times. It's very powerful, but he will laugh his ass off because I'm very honest. So when it happens, I'm like, for fuck's sakes, I did this to my fucking self. And then you do, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna rest, because some of us, we don't like being told what to do. We don't like taking orders. We don't like listening, okay? And that's part of this. Some of us don't like to listen, and we like to yap back. And he absolutely loves me for that, because I learn. And he's the only anything that can shut my ass up with kindness and truth and love and sternness and fucking scary aggression sometimes simultaneously. So it's not for everybody. And I'm not saying that everybody's life is super like this. That doesn't mean that that's what it has to be for you. That means that when people see people who are coming up, and people have blessings, and people are putting in a lot of work, and they get mad about it, but then they want it, a lot of the times that's what it takes. And if somebody is born blessed, that is not your fucking business to hate. There are plenty of people that are born blessed, but I also see kings and queens that are homeless. I see kings in the hood. I'm not kidding. That'd be a hood movie. But no, for real. Like growing up, I would know people, and I'm like, that motherfucker was like an emperor in a past life. You can just tell how they carry themselves, their wisdom. You can see it because in a way, we choose these arenas. We don't choose to be abused or to be mistreated or to go through like the dark shit. That's fucked up to say, and I will never agree with that with some of these spiritualists. Like, oh, you chose. No. You are in a free for all. And we are in an illusionary system that is pay to play and pay to win. We just keep paying to fucking play, thinking that we can play to win. Does that make sense? And we are spirits. We are, some of us, primordial spirits. Some of us are just vast. I believe I'm from the outbounds of the fucking universe. I literally have told him, I'm not from this entire place. This whole universe is fucking rigged. So rest when you need to, okay? And don't beat yourself up. But if you're feeling restless and hopeless, give yourself space and start grounding and getting some clarity and figuring out what I can do in my environment. What can I control? Is it my health? Is it my living situation? Is it my job? Is it something, that might be hard to do? But that's the sacrifice. It's not hurting your children. It's not doing all kinds of like alpha bro shit for ego, and some of us like that sort of stuff, just not the people. Some of us, I really love my lifestyle. I'm doing great in that, and I wouldn't change a thing. And that doesn't mean that it has to be that for you, but like, don't listen to these people that are just fucking waving their dick around and just circle jerking each other either. So I'm going to let you guys go. Be blessed, and things will get better for you. We're going to knock this shit out, or we're going to see the biggest motherfucking bonfire ever before we kick the bucket, you guys. So you stay sovereign, and you are very strong. You are not prey. You are a fucking predator, and you remember that. And what your predatory isn't other people's energy, isn't other people's fucking sovereignty. It's your motherfucking goals that this system wants to take from you by telling you you're not adequate enough. You start peeling back those layers little by little and facing your shame, and I promise you're going to start seeing some prosperity in your environment. Don't trip on it though, and it's hard. So I'll talk to you Moon Muffins later. Thank you for having a quick little light lunch with me.